Abbie.
Hi everyone, it's me. We're back. This is kind of normal. Damn it, I've forgotten the intro. I took 1 week off and I immediately botched it.
I'm Finn.
Yeah, I'm Bob. This is Finn. We have a guest again because normal episodes no longer exist. Get a seat, get a snack, get set, and get ready as we present to you our last brain cells left. How you been, Finn, and not Finn?
That is me, not Finn.
Yeah, we have Abbie here. Very unexpected guest. Last second thing. Bot didn't explain this, but Abbie and me were just chilling in a Discord call, and then Bot joined, and then we were like, okay, we need to go record the episode, and then me and Bot were like, hey, Abbie, you want to join? And she was like, sure, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to explain this, but not really like, you know, like you can't really summarize that into an intro segment, can you?
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, so Abbie's here.
Welcome, Abbie.
Kate is too. You might hear her screaming in the background.
Yeah, I've been kidnapped, and Kate is playing co-op Elden Ring and occasionally screaming.
That makes sense.
No, not Night Rain. It's modded Elden Ring.
Oh, ooh, yar har fiddle-dee-dee.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I don't remember what it was.
Great start too.
Hi everyone.
Can you tell it's been a week since
from the top.
It's been like 2 weeks since Finn and I have recorded. Can you tell?
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's weird to hear your voice instead of Fern's. What the hell?
Is that your impression of Fern?
Yeah. I used to be able to do a really good impression of Fern, but I can't do it anymore for some reason.
That's fair. Most people's impressions of me are just, like.
It's very true, yeah. So, Abbie, tell us a bit about yourself. What are you doing? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
I don't know.
How did you get here?
I was just in Discord and I got kidnapped.
Abbie's like Desmond, the moon bear. How did I get here?
How did I get here?
That's Abbie right now.
Oh, God.
I did not expect an Asda reference in 2025. So I'm impressed.
We've made one before. We
have actually. That is true. Can confirm.
Hello, I am a cow and I am a human and I do skateboards.
Would you like to do skateboards?
Yeah. So Abbie is a cool person.
Yeah, Abbie's pretty cool.
Yeah, apparently. She's known for stuff, but she doesn't do that stuff anymore. So
I am known for stuff.
Yep. And stuff means mass amount of drugs.
Yeah. I do the cannabis.
The co-cannabis?
I snort it through all of my orify.
I was not expecting to hear the word orify in a British accent today. But that's
okay.
Go on.
I mean, you want you to give a proper introduction, or are you just rolling with this?
Yeah, you can do proper if you want.
This is up to you. How do you want to promote yourself?
Yeah.
I am Abbie, otherwise known as Poke Abbie or Pokey Abbie or Pokabee, depending on how you decide to read it in your brain words. I like programming. I make games. I made a ROM hack for Pokemon. It was kind of cool. I don't really do that that much anymore, but I did at the time.
Just for context, that's what I was talking about, not the drugs. Abbie still does those.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I would never stop.
I could never stop.
Never stop. Currently do. This is just like an IV drip right now the entire time.
Abbie is also our local OG British person.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
They're going to print that on my grave.
OG British person?
Yeah.
Local OG.
Local.
OG British
Yeah, like
person.
I'm the token straight, you're the token Brit. We got all the bases covered, you know?
I'm not sure which is more insulting, honestly.
I wouldn't want to be called the token straight. I don't know.
And you think I want to be called the token Brit?
This is so very true.
I mean,
hey, it's better than the token French.
Yeah, it's true.
Which we don't have one of those, but yeah, Abbie's the first ever British friend that I made, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I
believe.
Cannot say the same.
I'm like your gay best friend, except I'm British and gay.
My BGF, what is it? No.
BG,
my BGBF.
BGGBF.
I don't. BGBF.
BGBFF?
Best gay
British gay best friend.
Yeah, let's go with
British gay best friend. There you go.
It does sound a little bit like you just like spilled a can of alphabet soup or something.
I kind of did. It's all over the place. My Campbell's.
It's got to be Heinz.
Me and Abbie used to not have, I guess not awkward conversations, but like every time we would talk, it would always revert into
unhinged.
Unhinged. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah,
but it would always revert into like differences between British and American stuff.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I guess that is I don't know.
fun.
It always turned to that. It doesn't do that anymore as much.
No,
but
for a very long time, it was just every single time we spoke, it was just like,
literally.
So how does it work over there? What do you guys say?
So you're British,
What's it like having bread without sugar?
right? What's it like having free healthcare? Whoa.
Although occasionally I will like just be like, what do you mean that's a thing?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I can't think of a good example, but like there's definitely times where I'm just like, huh? Like,
Well,
Yeah.
why
we're
is this
talking
slightly
about-
different?
And this is a horrible example, actually. We were talking about yesterday how you guys say semi, and we say semi.
Oh yeah.
But when you're talking about like you're popping a semi, it's semi. It's not a semi.
You guys were talking about boners just casually? What do you mean?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Excuse me.
I don't know how it started, but yeah, we
think Kate brought it up.
were comparing semi and semi, and then we suddenly
were comparing
realized that like,
semis.
well, I think my brain suddenly went, hang on a second, do you say like, do people say
Yeah.
like, oh, I have a semi?
No.
Something.
No, we say semi for that.
See, I prefer funnier terms like half-mast or like.
Yeah, that's what I said too. You're
yeah,
flying at
half-mast
half
is a good one.
The one I hear
Pitching
the
a
most
tent
of,
is
I
funny.
think, is popping a chub.
That's good too. No, that's a classic. See, I can't tell
But
if
for
that's
me-
inherently British or not because
I think it might be
It
because
sounds a
for
bit
me,
British.
chub means a small, thick guy.
That's a chode.
Oh, that's a chode.
Chode.
You're so right. I'm sorry, I don't know my penis.
As the local
Vocabulary.
penis expert
Don't
here.
know my penis.
As the local lesbian, I
Yeah.
apologize.
I just love that I stumbled onto the two of you having a conversation about
No, this is
boner
yesterday. Come on.
semantics.
Yeah,
No, this is
yesterday.
completely like what's so funny about this whole thing when you really boil it down to a microcosm. The only reason this conversation is happening, that at least that I'm involved in this conversation, was because you made a ROM hack however many years ago.
That's
Yep.
true.
You know, and now
all
we're sitting
comes
here
back to
talking about
Pokemon.
boners on 2:00 on a Thursday afternoon.
Yep. Yeah, we are.
You know,
Anyways, I went to Disney. Yeah, that was fun. We had a lot of. Actually, we did have a lot of fun.
You see
I
any
might send
chodes?
bot. No, I can't say I did.
at Disney is crazy. I'm pretty sure that's how you get put on a list.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you get banned from it. So
I don't want
yeah,
to
I'll
put
see if I
Disney
send bot
chubs
some
in the
pictures that don't
description.
include my family's face or whatever. But it
Yes,
was
I
fun.
can cover faces again like I did last time.
Yeah. I got
You know what I'll
so
do?
many
I'll put the
pins.
fern chicken over all of the people's faces. That way Fern's included. I could do that.
Yeah, I bought so many pins, and I talked about this last episode, but I'm not showing them off until I get the Canada
Until you get the
box,
Canada box, yeah.
which God knows when that's happening.
I
But
reckon
yeah.
in a month.
Also, I sound sick, but I'm not sick. I don't know what's happening with my voice and my...
It's because we
throat. I
started
don't know.
recording. Your body was just
Yeah.
like, all right, time to throw it for a loop.
Right, yeah, immediate. Speaking of being sick, yeah, I got a cold because I don't leave my house, and I went to Disney, so, airports and Disney World all in a matter of like 24 hours.
Yes.
Don't mix very well with my immune
Yes.
system.
Public bacteria 1, Dolphin 0.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When you started talking about that and you saying, oh, speaking of being sick, my brain half expected you to go like tangent off into like, yeah, it was really fucking cool, dude.
It was totally tubular.
It's totally tubular, bro. Yeah, no, so I got home immediately the next day. I started getting a cold, and I was like, okay, like I kind of expected that to happen.
Right.
Because airports.
Yeah.
But I got a cold, and then immediately got like like I had a UTI kind of like going, but then it just got worse and it turned into a kidney infection and then I had to go to the doctor. So the way Bot worded it was a lot. He was like, Dolphin went to the hospital. I'm like, no, I just went to my doctor and asked for some antibiotics and they gave it to me. So like,
hold on.
It was really funny because I was getting messages, which by the way, shout out to those people who sent me messages. They were super sweet. I think Luke and Rye sent me messages. They were like, I heard you were at the hospital. I'm like, I just asked for antibiotics. I'm good now.
Well, okay, to be fair, the exact wording of the message I read was, on my way to the hospital, I think I have a kidney infection. Very true. And I'm like, Dolphin's going to the hospital with a sickness.
Dolphin's dying.
Like, let me see who's free on a Tuesday afternoon to record a podcast this week.
Yeah.
And that's how the guest episodes happened. Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think. Like, I'm trying to like summarize everything because we do have Abbie on, so I'm like, I don't want to just talk about me the entire time.
What do you think about Dolphin's Abbie trip? What do you think about Dolphin's Disney trip, Abbie?
I mean, it seems cool. I don't know. I've seen the photos, and cool. Yeah, it seems fun. It seems nice.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy big into Disney, I'm not going to lie. So I'm a little bit out of my depth.
Yeah.
There were a couple photos you did send us that I know that me and Polly saw the one of you showing us like the pins in your bag, and that was like such a mind-fucky image for some reason. Like the perspective you picked it from was, I don't know, my brain just it couldn't figure out that I was looking at the inside of the bag. I thought I was looking at like a tablecloth or something, and I was like, what is happening in this image?
Did you attach the pins to the inside of your bag?
No. They were just in there. Like, they were in like a plastic
like a paper
bag
or something.
Oh,
yeah, it was a plastic, just like Disney Parks bag. And I took a picture from the top looking into the bag, and Polly and Abbie could not figure out what was going on. And I'm like, it's a bag. Like...
It's this newfangled technology known as burlap.
My brain just, I don't know what it saw, but it just didn't understand what it saw. It took ages for me to go, oh, it's just a bag.
Yeah, it took
a while. Spotted Bigfoot.
Because I think I was asking about what's about the tablecloth, and Dolphin was like, what the fuck are you on about?
Yeah, I was like, tablecloth.
Oh, it's like one of those like table doilies that old people have.
The West? The East.
The West. I mean, everything is east if you just, are committed to traveling
if you
far
go
enough.
far enough, yeah.
True.
We do live on a globe, after all.
Went to Disney World.
The entire of the U.S. is to the west of me, so...
This is very true,
That's true. No, that is true.
I also, which I guess this is something we can all talk about, I've been playing the hell out of Clair Obscure.
Oh, yeah, you have.
Oh, it's my new favorite game. It beat Kingdom Hearts. It's my new favorite game.
Wow. Damn.
I'm so sad because I've been having this conversation with so many different people. That's like, I'm so sad that Silksong came out this year. Like, shout out to the people who wanted to play Silksong. I think it's so cool that it crashed like all those stores and stuff.
Hell yeah. I enjoy it.
Which, slight misinformation, it didn't actually crash Xbox and PlayStation. Xbox and PlayStation just didn't put it out at the same time, because if they had, it would have crashed it. Silksong itself didn't crash the site. They decided to. Anyways, that being said, it still would have crashed them.
Yeah.
But
I do have a point I want to get into about that, but please continue with
I'm like, I don't know exactly what Game of the Year is based on, but I need Clair Obscure to win.
Jeff and his mates gather around.
Yeah, Jeff and Kojima basically wank off onto a cookie, and then whatever that is nearest is
and
what
then
wins.
They try really hard to claim that the Elden Ring DLC should be Game of the Year.
Oh, there's no shot.
No. DLC shouldn't be.
That's a reference to past year, by the way.
Yeah,
People didn't see the controversy around them nominating the DLC for Game of the Year was crazy.
Because it was was it Shadow of Erdtree that got nominated?
Yeah.
Or was it? It was Shadow of Erdtree, and then Night Rain came out.
Night Rain.
Which Night Rain, to be fair, is a separate game.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know it was a separate game.
Yeah, Night Rain is a separate game that exists. That's literally it. They literally like took Elden Ring, but like, what if we made it like a roguelike game for 3 people, but then didn't make it cross-platform because fuck your friends.
Oh.
Yeah. It's great. It's the reason I didn't get it, because I'm like, I want to play it on console, but all the people I know would play it on PC.
Yeah.
So it just didn't happen. But game of the I feel like if there weren't so many Game of the Year absolute banger contenders, then maybe Night Rain could be in that conversation. But there's just too many games that just came
This
out
year-
and absolutely stormed.
This year is
Oh my God, this
gonna
year
be
fucks
insane
Honestly,
for Game of the Year.
In spite of Silksong coming out and setting all the records it did, I still think that Clair Obscur might
too.
get it.
The only
So
thing
I haven't
that can
played
maybe
it, but I watched Dolphin play it, like the entire
Yeah.
team, and because I'm like that with a lot of games. I really struggle to play a lot of games because my brain just doesn't get dopamine from playing them, but I love watching them.
That's a mood.
And I enjoyed watching Dolphin play it so much that I'm like, oh fuck, maybe I should just buy it and
Yeah.
just try
Oh,
and play
wow.
it myself.
it's such a fun game. It's
Like,
such a fun
I-
game. The music is insane too.
It is like the presentation, the story, the music,
only good
everything
things.
about it is so yeah, it's fantastic.
I've never seen a game tackle grief the way that Clair Obscur tackled it.
Good
Like
to
as
know.
somebody who like, you know, I lost someone close to me, like fairly. I mean, like this was 10 years ago, but like, you know, still like it's someone
within
close
your
to
lifetime.
me. Yeah, within my lifetime. This game, like if I was just playing it by myself, I would have been a sobbing mess with how good it handled grief. But since I was, you know, with friends most of the time, I had to
You
like
had to toughen
keep
up.
up my reputation of, you know, big tough lesbian.
I love that.
But yeah, it was very. It was such a good game,
It
and I
really
think
is
like
on
it
my
was
list.
extremely innovative too.
Yeah, 100%.
I've only heard good things. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
talking
I said
about
this the
Luke,
other
he's
day,
a huge
but-
guy.
oh, sorry.
Go on.
I was
We
just
did
saying the other
thing.
day that
we did the
like
Discord thing.
JRPGs has like that as a term has become a thing because basically trying to copy the formula outside of Japan or at least outside of the East. I know a lot of Chinese companies have managed to do it, but particularly
Yeah.
in the West, there hasn't been much success at all. And Clair Obscur has just like blown that out of the water, you know. And if
And
they
the-
continue
and it
to
was their
make games
first
like
game.
that in the next couple years. Or the
Yeah.
next like decades, I guess, because I think it was a relatively long dev cycle. I think it was like 6 years or something.
It was 6 years.
Um,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. We might have to rename the genre, honestly, because they did such a good
Yeah.
job.
I mean, at what point does it just become RPG? Just like slap
It's
the
more
J
of
in
a, it is an RPG, but it's like it's what you
Specific type.
expect from how the RPG plays, you know, from that sort of
Yeah.
turn-based combat most of the time and the way the skills and EXP is set up.
I was gonna suggest like TRPG, but that's just tabletop RPG. So like that's like so like maybe like
Well,
TBRPGs.
tabletop-
TT.
Tabletop can be titty
right?
RPG.
TDRPG.
Oh, TTRPG. You're right.
Yeah,
So that could
Yeah,
just be
TTRPGs,
TRPGs,
tabletop.
turn-based RPGs.
TBRPG.
No? Maybe I
Oh,
don't know.
TBRPG kind of rolls off the tongue real nice.
I don't think that is a term yet. Like, I know we say RPG and then we'll just add on another tag for it being
Yeah.
turn-based.
It's just become an adjective.
Yeah, I don't know. And honestly, they're probably not going to change the genre because even if they're not made by Japan, just the Japanese
style.
companies, that
Yeah.
style and what to expect from it has become so
It's-
cemented over the past.
it's probably like
couple
Metroidvanias.
decades. Yeah, exactly.
Like we all call like Hollow Knight and like Silksong
Or even
Metroidvanias.
roguelikes.
Yeah, roguelikes too. Yeah, none of those like
Yeah.
Binding of Isaac has nothing to do with the video game Rogue.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But it did define the genre, so it's just the name that sticks. I think.
Or even and another example is Souls-like.
Yeah, no, true. Yeah,
It's like everything that is like, you know,
adjacent to Dark Souls.
yeah, it's like, oh, in Clair Obscur, if you rest, all the enemies spawn again. It's like, oh, that's like a Souls-like. It's like, no,
It's a Souls
it's
feature,
just a, yeah, it's
It's
just
just a
the
feature.
thing that happens.
But
yeah,
the
it's just a
problem is
feature.
you get
like
like
it's not really.
it's difficult to like narrow down what features what features you
Yeah.
need to have in order
Yes.
to be called this, right? Like that's difficult
Correct.
and it changes a lot because I know there's a lot of debate with roguelikes years back, which is where the term roguelite came from. Although ultimately I think roguelite is kind of been dropped. I know some people still use it, but like I think
yeah, it's
people
not as
just-
common.
I don't think
yeah,
I've
people
heard
care
it
less.
very often.
People will usually
was
say,
because
like,
people were getting,
roguelike
like, really
features.
Yeah, people were getting like really, what's the word, Puritan? I'm not sure if that's the correct word. They were getting very
Butthurt.
butthurt about how
Yeah.
roguelike was being applied. So they wanted to come
dear.
up with a new term and be like, these aren't roguelites, these are roguelites, because they have like
It's-
meta progression and stuff, you know?
It's so interesting how people get so like butthurt and gatekeepy about certain things. Like there's a guy who I keep seeing his content like pop up on my Instagram feed, but he has such a boomer old man take about Final Fantasy, about how the only good Final Fantasies are the old like turn-based like PS1, PS2 era games, and that everything else is dog shit. And he literally says like, take your PS5 and throw it in the dishwasher and stop chasing the dragon to all these fucking idiots who are playing 16 and 15 and 14. And it's like, bro, like, it's just discounting all these like amazing stories, and he's kind of like kneecapping himself, and it really comes off like a self-entitled like dickhead kind of take, where it's like, this can only be this one thing, and if it isn't this one thing, it sucks and it's bad and fuck you. And it's like, well hold on, pal, why can't both be good? Why can't things grow and develop? Like that's why like it's clear obscure from what everything I've seen, and I've intentionally kind of kept it an arm's length away because I kind of want to play it myself. But it seems like it's taken a bunch of elements.
Definitely avoid spoilers.
Yeah, if you want to play it, go in blind, for sure.
I have avoided spoilers. Every time I've seen you play it, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, and I'm not going to ask, and I'm not going to retain any of this information.
Yeah.
But I love that they've taken stuff from other genres, like the parrying and like the resting mechanic from Souls games, and like they've taken stuff to not only evolve
only up
the medium. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
There's a whole parkour section. It's so funny.
I think Claire Obscure does a lot of really good things for the gaming industry as a whole. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of things that have come out this year that have done a lot of good things, and I feel like you actually would probably know more about this, Abbie. But I feel like we've seen smaller devs popping up and like doing way more than a lot of the bigger studios are nowadays. And I kind of think that's I've seen. There was a big response that some large companies are seeing Silksong as an anomaly, and it's like, oh, Silksong was super successful, and this is just a thing that we don't understand why it happened. Where I feel like more companies should look at this and go, well, why did this happen? Why was this so successful? Why are people so amped for this? Why do people like this so much? You know,
this is my like personal opinion, but I think it's a very complicated problem.
Right.
I don't even know if problem's the correct word. It's very complicated because people make a lot of these comments and looking at it purely as like a creative industry, and forgetting that the majority of games released, like the majority of most profitable games, aren't really creative, right? Or they aren't purely creative. Like they are there to fill in a gap in the market and to make revenue and feed that back into a publisher or shareholders or whoever.
Right.
And I think that sucks. And also saying that as somebody who works in a AAA team, I still think it kind of sucks, and I wish that there was less of a you have to get money, you know, and just hunt for money kind of attitude.
Right. No,
but I also realize that that's kind of idealistic. So when people are making a lot of these claims of like, oh, you know, like Silksong's just like an anomaly, and I'm like, I don't know, I can see arguments for it being yes and no, it is, because like
you can see both sides of the coin.
Yeah, like Hollow Knight and Silk, these type of indie games that pop up and like absolutely pop off happen. They happen every few years. We just get stuff like that. I mean, hell, looking back, you know, more recently of something that was completely unheard of and nobody really expected to pop off was Peak, right? And that was something that a couple people made over, I think, only like 1 or 2 months. Like they weren't even expecting it to do anything, and then they were like, "Oh wow!" And people really like this. Yeah, which is great because they're a small team and they can now afford to go and do whatever creative stuff they want, right? And I think there's a group of people like Eco Pop or something like that do similar, where they make like small games over a couple months and then release them. But that model doesn't really scale up well at these like big AAA game levels, mainly because the investment is so high that they have to make the cost back. And also it doesn't help that there is also greed at the top too, because clearly there is, they want to make more and more money.
Shout out Ubisoft.
Also, the bigger the bigger the game, I say, like, you know, I think their mentality is like the bigger the game, the bigger the team you're gonna need, and you gotta pay all those people. So that's why we're charging $69.99 for games now, instead of like Silksong, which was made by like 3 people, and it's like only $20.
Go nuts.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Or like even Claire Obscure. Like I was actually talking about this with Connor the other day. I was like, Claire Obscure is the kind of game where, you know, I would have paid $69.99 for Claire Obscure.
Right.
Like, I think it deserves the price tag of $69.99. It has its, like, you know, visual things, like little visual glitches here and there. But, like, I watched a
doesn't take
playthrough
away.
of I watched a playthrough of the new remake of Metal Gear Solid, and that had more visual glitches than Clair Obscur did. And like I feel like Metal Gear is such like a it comes from a bigger company, like, you know, compared to
Konami.
Clair Obscur. This was like Sandfall's first ever game that they've made.
Right.
Yeah. Although the people at the
So-
top, well, the main creator of the studio at the top has made games before.
Weren't they like
he's made games
ex-Ubisoft
before,
devs?
but, like, yeah,
If I
there
Uh,
was
he
remember
Ubisoft
correctly?
was, yes.
Okay.
But there was a lot of fresh talent, and most of the dev team, as I understand it, were like juniors.
Oh, good for them.
Which is even more impressive, right?
Yeah.
Like a bunch of people that like they did not have much experience or industry experience on that team, and they've absolutely, you know, blown it out of the park.
Absolutely.
I think the only game that might come close, if Clair Obscur wins Game of the Year, I think the only game that might come close is Ghost of Yote. And
Is that coming out this year?
Entirely. That's coming out in like next month.
Well,
Oh,
that
I
might.
think.
Oh, was it next month? I thought it was.
I think
thought it was
so.
next
Later,
year. I'll be
hang
so
on.
honest with
Wasn't
you.
that October?
I thought it was
October.
2026, but you might be right.
Oh no, you're right.
Hold on.
It's October.
When October 11th, right?
I don't know what game I was thinking of, because I was thinking of something that was going to release in like December, because that would miss the Game of the Year awards at least for this year.
October 2nd, that's what it is, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so not.
So that's
not
the only
long
one that
time.
I'm like, that might beat.
There've been a lot of games that are
Clair
like
Obscur.
up there. I mean, people are talking about.
Yeah.
People originally were talking about maybe Silk Song, but I've kind of seen that 180 a little bit, where some people are like, "It's all right."
Silk Song
Now
will
that
get
now they play it and they're just
nominated.
like, yeah. I mean, we were talking about this the other day actually, and I my opinion on it was, I think Silk Song's, from what I've seen of it, I've not played it myself, but from what I've seen of it, I think it's a good game. It does what people wanted from it. It's a sequel to Hollow Knight, and it's very much more of that. But it's not really like
innovation.
industry
or whatever.
exploding, or it definitely hasn't
Right.
had as much of an impact after release as
Yeah.
Hollow Knight had when it started to blow up.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Like most of the Silk Song stuff is the fact that it's been so hyped for so long, and then just suddenly like shadow dropped.
it kind of
Yeah.
hit the
Basically.
peak of like. It didn't crest over the hill that like Portal 3 and Half-Life 3 did, where people were building expectation for like, this is going to be so good and so good and so good. And at some point people were just like, we've been waiting for this so long, where it can no longer be as good as our expectations. So then all like hype that I saw just kind of deflated around it all. Like Silk Song was
everybody's
still in
given
that
up,
pocket.
but nobody
you know?
gave up with Silk Song. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
it's coming. We know it's coming.
I guess 7 years is the cutoff time, right?
Apparently.
I think you're right though, because my prevailing opinions on, because I haven't played a lot, like all of Silk Song. I've played like a solid like 6-7 hours at this point. But people ask me like, what do you think about it? I'm like, oh, it's Hollow Knight but new and more, which is great, and I love that because I love Hollow Knight. But I think that really nails the point you're saying, where it didn't really, other than like the gameplay style and the characters and the difficulty of it, it didn't really change too much about the formula. So I think it didn't really break the mold in the way that Hollow Knight did. I think you're 100% right with that. I do also want to declare, because I will be the number one guy to be like, fuck the corpos, and I'll, I will always shit on the people who are standing up in their $1 million towers looking down our noses at us, right? Whenever I complain about these big like game dev companies and all these people, I don't want it to come across that I'm shitting on the developers, because I know that it's not them that are like doing these greedy money-making things or being forced to do it. Like, I'm willing to bet there's plenty of devs at EA who absolutely fucking hate putting microtransactions into Skate or like any other of those games. But that's what they have to do because that's their job, right? And like a lot of these developers are really talented and do really good work, but the people who are above them making the decisions are the ones that kind of get everyone in trouble at the end of the day. And I feel like blame unfairly gets put on the developers sometimes. You know?
I think it doesn't help as well that people tend to treat people from a company as if they're the entire company sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
they'll be like, they'll blame the company for doing something they don't like. And this happens a lot in like, I've noticed in like games that get like, you know, regularly updated. It's like playing a lot of Overwatch and seeing like a bad patch drops and people moan at Blizzard, and then I've seen that in the past go on to somebody will see a dev and then like borderline harass them, if not outright harass them,
Right.
as if they are the sole
doing that, yeah.
decider that's done this, and it's like they're just a cog in the machine. Like
Yeah.
they're just one person.
Yeah, that's shitty to do that sort of thing. But I have a lot of sour grapes with big game companies. I mean, obviously, I've bitched on Ubisoft earlier. I grew up loving Ubisoft because they made so many good games back, like when we were growing up, and now they're just like a total shell of themselves, and it makes me so sad.
I like to think of it as Ubisoft made just a ton of games because they used to
Yeah.
make an obscene amount of games.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Like
They
during
absolutely
the
did.
Wii era, especially, like Jesus Christ, the amount of games that they used to just pump and dump.
Oh
It was
God, you're so
insane.
right.
But that
Well,
doesn't
Ubisoft's
really
the
exist
king of
anymore because
shovelware.
indie games have kind of like taken over that gap in the market.
Yeah.
And I was going to loop back around. I didn't say earlier, but like it's generally been the opinion, I think, online that we're kind of entering this new weird era where we're trying to establish what exactly a AA game is. And there's definitely a lot more interest in that as a, like, games like Clair Obscur or Helldivers or anything like
Yeah.
that, where
Yeah.
it's like these are that generally smaller teams that cost less, easier to buy into, but you don't expect to be quite as polished as the AAA games as a result. And a lot of them are,
Right.
but they're not like crazy polished either,
Would Baldur's Gate fit into that category? Because I know they were like they had big
I don't
funding,
know,
and they
I-
had a big contract.
No.
With
Some
Hasbro.
people have said
but-
that they think Larian classes as a it's AA dev, but I don't know. They're a big studio and they've been around the block for a while.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
with lots of funding too.
I'm someone
Yeah.
who played the hell out of Divinity Original Sin 2, so I'm well aware of Larian and their prowess, I should say. But I'm just curious because the way that you describe it's like games that aren't necessarily the most polished, but they're. I think where it is for me is that clearly Baldur's Gate was made and developed with the same passion that these AA and below studios have. Like from the very top all the way down, there was a lot of passion there. I
I
think.
personally dislike that, like, because it kind of claims that there is no passion in like AAA development or like higher up development and stuff, and that's
Fair.
not true. Like there 100% is. It's just a lot of that passion is snuffed out by whatever it happens to be, whether that's a platform
Right.
thing or the publisher or someone higher up. But there's definitely
Someone above
passion in
them.
these devs and lots of work, and people want these games, and not just like the people higher up, but like the people that are working on the games, the actual like frontline developers and stuff.
They want it to be
Want
good.
the games to succeed. They want
Yeah.
people to see what they've made and go, "Wow, I love this. This is great."
Yeah.
So yeah, I just don't like.
No, that's
I don't
fair. I think
think
that's a
there
good
isn't any
point.
passion there. But I do think there is a bit more freedom sometimes. It generally boils down to these cases where people get funding and flexibility, and like in Clair Obscura's case, I forget the name of the publisher, but they're a relatively new publisher.
Is it Sandfall?
Well, that's the developer.
Oh no, that's the developer. What's the publisher?
They're the publisher that published Sifu. I know that much.
Oh,
But they're a new publisher, and
Yes.
they are very hands off, and they're kind of looking to take
Kepler
There you go.
Interactive.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. They're kind of looking to take these smaller indie titles to that like upper pay bracket and give them a lot more flexibility and freedom, right?
I love that.
Which is great, and hopefully it continues to work out for them.
Yeah, see that makes a lot of sense. I feel like it's a good thing to do is like help people update their perspective and verbiage on these things, right? Because I definitely
hope they
come
make
from
another
someone
Clair
that's not as
Obscur
the most not the most informed on how the games industry works. And I feel like there's a lot of people
Yeah.
who are gonna have a lot of strong opinions like me, but probably won't have the insider knowledge that you do. So I think putting these two things together and putting them out there is gonna help people expand their perspectives on this. You know?
Yeah. And like I
So
don't
then
really
probably-
blame people for thinking that for what it's worth, because like it makes
Yeah.
sense. It's just like it's just frustrating on the inside of like, God damn it,
Oh,
this is how
yeah.
it works.
As someone on the
It's
inside
not
of the
my
industry, yeah.
fault. Yeah.
Oh, I have no doubt that
I was
there's
gonna say-
passionate developers everywhere. That's
Yeah.
never been a doubt in my brain when it comes to any
Yeah.
of this. I want that to be very clear because I know devs work really hard. As someone,
Oh, yeah.
not only you, Abbie, but I know people who studied to do like frontline dev, like you said, at college, and it's like the stuff that they would do and like work through on the it's
it's
not it's
insane.
not light task, and you can tell they really love what they're doing.
Yeah. Very
So
much.
I don't want to come off wrong. And also I want it to be known that I say certain things because I want them, not because I necessarily want it to be like challenge people to be like, oh, you're wrong. But I don't want what I say to just be one-dimensional. It's like, this is the only thing I believe. I want people to be like, well, hold on, I don't agree with that, and here's why. Because then that's how we grow, and that's how we learn. Yeah. It's great. I love that stuff. It's like some of my favorite stuff about human interactions is just those moments of, like, actual learning, you know?
That's what I was going to say, that meeting Abbie and, like, knowing her as, like, a developer or a programmer has been really interesting too, because every time I like complain about something little in like a game, Abbie will be like, well, actually this is what it's called and this is what it does. Like there was what's that one called where it's like when you go from like a dark place to a bright place and your whole screen just flashes white?
Adaptive exposure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that. And I don't complain about it, but I'm always like, oh my god, I just got blinded. And Abbie's like, well, that's adaptive.
That's exactly what I said.
And camera stuff too.
Yeah.
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 There's a
or
lot
like
of
I do
crossover.
this thing. Yeah, I do this thing in games where I call it the stair test, because I have never played a game where the character goes up the stairs normally. Their feet always cut into the stairs, or they'll go up like 5 stairs at a time. And then I was joking about that one time, and I was like, I'm like, is this a thing? And Abbie was like, no, yeah, that's like, you can't, because it's not stairs, it's a ramp.
Okay.
I mean, you can, but it's just like, it's so much to do.
It's
a lot of game
for a little
development
thing
that
that you don't. Yeah, a lot of game development is picking your battles.
Yeah.
Because people are like, why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? Well, you know, where's this feature? Where's that? Da, da, da. Chances are it's probably been considered, and somebody somewhere or a team somewhere has gone, that's probably not worth the time investment. Let's spend that time investment, because we only have a limited amount of time to make games.
Right.
Yeah.
As much as it would be great to be like, let's just delay forever, you know, not everyone has like Hollow Knight money sitting behind them where they can just like develop a game for however long. It'd be great if we did. Like, that would be the ideal world, honestly. I'd love that.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when it comes to stairs, the actual technology, which it's called inverse kinematics, and basically it boils down to you kind of like want to place a line where the foot should be, and then the leg will go where it should. I think one of the games that has some of the best technology from that is definitely the Assassin's Creed series. I remember seeing some GDC talks from them to do with it.
Yeah.
But the gist of it is, it's like, it's not that we couldn't do it, it's just that it would kind of detract from the gameplay, and also it just isn't worth it. Because you could definitely, like, in order to walk up the stairs normally, I don't even notice this, we walk up the stairs slow, like in comparison to walking around, especially in comparison to the speed that you're used to characters walking around in games. Characters walk around really fast in comparison to how fast people generally walk around. So then going upstairs, it would be really slow. It just wouldn't be fun. And then also all of the technical challenges that you'd need to do that. Again, not that they couldn't be solved, they definitely have.
It's just
I'm certain I've seen games that do it. It's just like, what's the point?
Right.
Like
GTA 5 does it.
Exactly.
When you're going upstairs, it slows your character down, like, completely.
Yes.
And I actually love that.
Yeah, because it's immersive. So cool. It's super immersive. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so immersive. But then it's funny because I don't remember if it actually does it or not. But like, from what I remember, it slows your character down, but your character still cuts through the stairs. So it's like,
well,
you can have one but not the other.
For every one gamer that will notice it, I feel like there's going to be 3 that would never see it in a million years.
I need
know.
game developers to realize that if they do that, I will notice, because I do that stair test in every single game I play.
I love that.
I don't care what it is.
That whenever game developers play games, they notice everything.
Every little detail.
We talk about in industry, it's like the game dev curse. The more you know about it, the more you can spot the smoke and mirrors, and the more you're unable to not spot them. Like, every single time I was watching you play Claire Obscure, I'm just staring at it and going, that's some horrible depth of field artifacts. Jesus Christ, I want to get that fixed.
How do you feel about, like, it's a big thing in a lot of the, like, anime games and, like, Dragon Ball specifically fighting games, where they will do this thing where they have, like, dramatic camera, like, cut-ins and zooms and whatnot, usually to replicate, like, scenes from the anime or, like, any other, like, focus on, like like big power up moments or like big attack, right? But when people like freeze the camera and they get like some people, I don't know how they do it, where they get access like the free cam and like in those moments, but they move it and they notice that the character model has just been like completely like warped and disfigured to make it fit right for that specific camera thing.
Yeah, it's great. I think one of the first games I remember talking about doing it was Overwatch, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did a big GDC talk when it first released, and like all of their like, particularly their first person animations are like really kind of like messed up in perspective because it looks great in motion. Like it looks so snappy and so fluid. Yeah, I love it. It's amazing. And again, this is part of the smoke and mirrors, right? Because in a lot of these cases, if you pause the game or if you take a screenshot, you'll be like, ugh. But in motion it looks great, so it's fine. It kind of it does what it's supposed to do.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, we have a lot of tricks.
I've noticed that in Cyberpunk where someone made the camera like 3D, and just the character model is all like warped and janky and funky looking when you look at it in 3D, but when you put it in the perspective of, oh, you're in first person, so like the limbs and like the shadows and everything exists in the right place so that when you're in first person it looks natural, but when you see it zoomed out in third person when you're not supposed to, it just looks super weird and janky. Like the person's like their neck is where their heart should be, like weird stuff like that.
I don't even think you realize what a Pandora's box you've just opened in this discussion. Rendering first person is so insane. Like there's so many different approaches that all have their like advantages and disadvantages, and the industry still hasn't decided on what they think's the best. Every game does it slightly differently.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it easier to render first person or third person? Because
third, because you don't have to do any funky.
I was gonna say you don't have to do any of the funky stuff.
Yeah, generally you'll run into issues of like you want perspective to look good on the on let's say you're playing like a shooter game and you got your characters, their hands holding a gun in front of them, right? You want that to look good, but then if you walk up to a wall and put your face into the wall, the gun's going to clip through the wall because the gun is long
in front of you.
Exactly. So you need to figure out a way to have that either always render on top, which kind of looks weird. A lot of games have moved towards having like adaptive animation, so you'll have like, if you're close to a wall, your character will actually like turn the gun sideways. You're not allowed to shoot it whilst you're doing it, but like that looks great. I think that's really well grounded. But then other games do stuff like rendering off screen or stenciling, or there's a big list of stuff. And another one that's super trivial, but I haven't said, but I'm specifically a rendering engineer. That's my classification, or my specialization, sorry. Which basically means I do a lot of the programming and the maths and stuff behind the visuals. So I do a lot of the code that's required to let the artist make their art and make it look good.
All right in your alley.
There's a quote somewhere that I need to find about me talking about what you do.
I'm a pixel
you keep doing your thing, but I will find this quote.
But I was gonna say that something that's so trivial but so obscenely difficult and controversial still is just rendering transparent things.
Like glass, it's something, or like meshes?
Yeah, like glass or anything like particles that are slightly faded or anything like that. Like it's so annoying still. Like decades after, we have all of these techniques that all do stuff slightly differently and all have their like slight advantages and disadvantages, but we still don't have a great solution that just works.
Is it the same way for like volumetric smoke and like stuff of that nature?
Kind of. I think volumetrics is pretty standard nowadays, and we have a pretty good approach of volumetrics. It's just that it doesn't hold out greatly at distance.
Gotcha. Because I've heard volumetrics is a big thing in like the CGI world. Like trying to 100%. Get good like smoke and things of that nature can be challenging sometimes.
But doing it in like offline rendering is more true. It's easier than real-time rendering. Because offline rendering, if you take like a second to render a frame, that's quite a long time. If you have to render out like an hour's worth of movie, sure. But if you take a second to render a real-time frame, like 1 FPS is not fun. So we have 16.6 milliseconds to render everything.
God damn.
Everything in the frame we want. we have 16.6 milliseconds. If we're at 60 FPS, we have 33.3 if we're at 30. So it's it can be a challenge to
say the
get
least,
things
yeah.
looking good and have them render in time. Like a lot of rendering work is like advising on performance and optimizing where we can. That's also another thing, another tangent, which I'm not going to start, but I'm just going to say optimizing is hard.
Start.
It's not as easy as you think it is. It's really hard, okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. At no point have I thought because I've talked about it a lot. I'm really big into like Monster Hunter, and PC optimization for Monster Hunter Wild has been a nightmare for the people playing online playing on PC. Because I got it on console, and I'm very glad that I did, and I've had like no issues running the game. But I know a bunch of people online and some friends who were like, "Yeah, I can't play this game on my PC. Like it just doesn't work." Or some people are like, I've had no issues with it on my PC. So it really just feels like when you're making games for PC, it kind of making games for PC, it feels like the optimization is kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah, and it doesn't help also that sometimes you just have like weird hardware combinations that just do weird stuff, and you're like,
well, that's the thing is
okay.
there's so many different random combinations of hardware, like solid state hard drives, different
like I've
amounts
definitely
of RAM,
had
different
like
producers.
bugs
like
come to me before where it's like, oh yeah, if you're on this specific AMD card, it just like the shadows just are corrupted. I'm like, oh, okay,
interesting.
Cool.
How do you correct for that sort of thing?
It's just a nightmare. It's just digging and trying to. You're kind of like a little code detective. You have to like find a hint and then like tug at that string until you can eventually narrow down what it is or where it's coming from. And then once you figured out where it's coming from, you can then go, all right, can I fix this? Because even once you found the source of something, it doesn't necessarily mean you find a fix. It just means you know kind of where it's coming from.
You've pulled the thread all the way up, but can you remake the sweater now?
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good analogy for it, actually.
I like that, actually. Oh.
Yeah,
I love that.
They can be very annoying bugs.
Oh, absolutely. I love that this podcast started, by the way. Have you guys talking about boners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to, like...
I found it.
The boner?
No.
Oh.
No.
Crazy turn of events.
Surprise boner.
The female version of finding the clitoris. Anyways,
playing whack-a-mole with boners is not fun, I think. That doesn't sound enticing.
Anyways, I found the quote. I said, when Abbie told me that she was a rendering person, I was like, I said, Abbie does what I'm a slut for. Because I'm a slut for some good rendering in a game.
Thank you. Bows.
I think what's also really fun about this, and it's been really fun as I've gotten to know you more, Abbie, is that you're like a fountain of knowledge when it comes to this game dev stuff, and it's awesome. But you're also incredibly fucking cursed.
Oh, yeah.
In what regard?
Like, just some of the things and jokes that you say are just so out of left field, and it's so hilarious to me.
I'm used to it now, because I think you still see Abbie as like this is like a cool programmer, and I'm just like, nah, Abbie's just there.
Abbie's awesome.
She's my friend.
Yeah.
It's falling apart one bone at a time.
You have the same goblin energy that my girlfriend does. Like, you two would be best friends if you two talked for like 20 minutes. Like,
hell yeah.
She will just like, I swear to God. So we were, I don't remember where we were driving to, but I was playing a song by Slipknot called Dead Memories, which is a great song. And she just like misheard the lyrics. So she just made them up in her own head. But the thing is, she doesn't tell me this is happening. So then randomly while I'm listening to the song, my girlfriend will just go, dead memories in your horse, dead pigeons in my brain. And I'm like, what? What the fuck?
I will admit, I have been known to do this before.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I love the goblin energy. It's so fun.
I have a habit of like, I would just like, we have pet rats and I'll like sing to them, but I would just like make up lyrics on the spot. Just whatever. And it always comes out unhinged. I don't know what absolutely. I'm about to say. I just have to find something that rhymes.
You're just getting on the train and whatever comes out is not up to you.
Exactly.
You know who else does that? Connor does that. I've heard him do that a lot.
True.
But
Connor's
he doesn't.
really
It's
good at it,
so
though.
unhinged.
He's
really good at rhyming
unhinged.
it though.
Like he'll be like, but he'll suddenly just start like it'll be great. And then suddenly he'll just start going, cock and balls in my butt.
He does sing about dicks a lot, though.
He sings about dicks a lot.
He sings about dicks. I sing about piss and poo because, like, it's this is just like the thing that's really easy to rhyme for some reason. Okay. Kate is staring at me. Don't act as if that's not true. You've heard me rhyme that plenty of times.
Tell the cat girl to look away.
Oh god, it's just like I wish I could, because I like to pride myself on thinking that I'm a comedian to some level, but I wish I had the level of like spontaneous like just creativity that some of you guys have.
You know who else has that? Wind. Oh my god.
Wind is sneaky with it.
Dude,
Wind is so low key with it, though.
The jokes Wind makes is
oh my god,
just catch me so off guard, but they're so funny.
It's because Wind is so like quiet and like kind of like a shy personality. So when he like hits you with a joke, it's like you got punched out of nowhere with an uppercut. It's so good. It's so funny.
Yeah, honestly, he might have the most quotes in the out of context.
He's got great comedic timing.
Out of context quotes,
like his comedic timing is fantastic. Mm-hmm. He's also really good at I've noticed he's really good at rolling with and like helping jokes move along.
Yeah. Well, I like even just yesterday I was just looking at quotes. I was studying in my psychology class and I was just reading out loud whatever I was reading. Mm-hmm. And so I I was reading my textbook. It says some embryos fail during the embryonic period. And then Wind immediately just snaps, goes, failures. The worst part is he didn't even know what I was talking about. He just heard fail and said failures. I was like, what the hell?
That's amazing.
Oh god. But then the funny thing is he makes all these jokes, right? That like age him down a lot because like you know it's just like whatever, like we all have that, you know, like I have the sense of humor of a 13-year-old boy, like you know we all have that, correct, humor that ages us down. But then he turns around and has the conversation of like a 30-year-old, so it just gives me like for the first few months that I met Wind and like actually started becoming friends with him, it gave me whiplash. Because I was like, are you making a joke or are we talking about like the philosophicals of a plant?
Yeah. I like to think I've been told I have that effect on people sometimes. Yeah. I've given a few people emotional whiplash and it's fun.
It's like, whoa.
It's very fun.
You have that clip of that Australian minister or whatever who's like laughing away like, oh yeah, and then he just suddenly like has a personality shift and he's just like, and we won't fucking do it. Out of nowhere.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's and we won't fucking do it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh god.
It's so great.
we could have a whole episode of this podcast just going through the different quotes that are in our like the Discord server that we're all in.
Good god. It's so good.
It's so cursed,
I love that funny. Quote channels have become common feature in like Discord servers.
Mm-hmm. I love that too.
It's something that I did when I first made the like main Discord server that I host. It was just something I did like between my friends just so we could have like a Rolodex of like stupid shit that we said. And now it's just evolved so much and it's just like one of my favorite things on there, and this kind of ties back to the whole Goblin energy thing, right? Where my girlfriend and I were on a 10-hour road trip. No, it was not. It was 10. Well, we were driving that entire day because we were going from Texas to Tennessee. And we drove past a Cracker Barrel, right? And so my girlfriend saw this Cracker Barrel. And, like, she stared at it for a minute. Completely silent, by the way. And then just turns to me and goes, you think they just have, like, a woman in the back on all fours and they just, like, milk the sweet tea out of her? And I was like, what the fuck? And she's like, yeah, Cracker Barrel, you know, we just passed there. Like, do you think that's how they get the sweet tea? And I was like, what the? I'm like, you didn't qualify that statement. You didn't say, hey, look, a Cracker Barrel. You just ripped it. You just said that out of nowhere and expected me to understand.
Jesus Christ.
It was...
Blinks in European.
Oh, Yeah,
Cracker Barrel. All you need to know, Abbie, is Cracker Barrel is where white people respawn. Like
Yeah.
that is where we come from.
Literally.
This simultaneously tells me nothing and everything. Thank you.
I've been to a Cracker Barrel one time. It was the most like flavorless, nothing food I have ever had.
All I can picture when you're saying Cracker Barrel is that bar in the SpongeBob movie. You know, now
on,
the
let me
women,
find
that one.
Now that
Now
we're
that women.
hold on, I'm kind of what it looks like.
I love that so much. Do you have the same reaction to like Waffle House? Because Waffle House is my favorite fighting game stage, but that's like
I
a
don't
real
even know
life
what
game.
I don't know what I think of when I think of Waffle House. Honestly, nothing. Like
It's-
nothing
it's
comes
I
to
literally
need
my
to.
brain.
If Fern ever comes to the United States, Fern.
If Fern.
Oh my god! you've
Why
done
are you
it
talking
again.
about Fern? We're talking to Abby.
You've done this. Okay, so for context, I'm everyone according to Dolphin.
context.
I'm everybody. I've been
swear to
called
God.
Fern. I've been called Redacted. I'm pretty sure I've been called Kate. Like I'm just fucking everyone to
If
Dolphin.
you call her bot next, I'm leaving. I swear to God. Hey, don't, listen.
Okay, so if Abby ever comes to the United States, if that ever happens, I'm taking Abby to a Waffle House 100% because Abby needs to taste that. It
Needs
might
is a
give
strong
her
word.
Some kind of bro. A Waffle House is so good. I love Waffle House. That's my
I
comfort
haven't
food.
been, and I've been told that I'm not missing too much.
My issue is that I don't really care for sweet waffles too much, and I don't really like American pancakes. I much prefer
Well, no, they don't just
like
have that
crepes or
at
British
Waffle House.
pancakes. So.
Yeah. They do have other stuff at Waffle House. Like, I don't get waffles at Waffle House. Crazy, I know. Shoot me. That was really
Cock's
aggressive.
Damn.
I'm about to back and tell me about the
Cox-
waffles, George.
Cock's gun that you don't own because you guys have actual good gun laws. Anyways.
Draws bow? That count?
Unsheathes knife? Like what?
Sheep's knife.
I do have
I
a
saw-
bow
okay,
somewhere.
wait,
I think upstairs.
Hold on.
Oh, wow,
I
there
saw
you
a
go.
video of a dude. This is like just like a random video someone recorded on like the streets somewhere in England. But a guy just pulled a machete out of his pants.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's probably
Like, I shit-
London.
I was gonna
was
say, is that
talking
like
to-
an actual
Well, it's
thing or was
somewhere
that
in
like
London. It's
satire?
Probably
I know.
London.
Somewhere in London.
Well, I was I don't know if I talked about this on the pod. No, I don't think I did. I was I think talking to Abby or somebody at some point.
Are you sure
and
it
I was
wasn't
like,
Fern?
yeah, you know, there sure wasn't that's crazy.
I was just about to make the same joke. You just beat me there like a couple seconds.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
I was talking to Abby and I was like, yeah, you know, there's apparent like in the UK you guys don't really have mass shootings as much as we do here. But then literally the same day after I was talking to whoever I was talking to, I am scrolling through TikTok and I suddenly see mass sword stabbing in the UK. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Swords?
Yeah, we have a problem at the moment with knife crime.
Wild, yeah.
Though a lot of it is like gang related stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's very localized to specific areas.
I was talking to this is gonna sound weird because I'm gonna say Redacted's mom, but I talked to Redacted's mom a lot apparently.
According to
Like
you.
I'll just be in call with Redacted, and then their mom shows up, and I'm like, "Oh hey!"
Hi.
See?
Yeah. So we were talking, and she was talking about how apparently there's been a bunch of break-ins in Canada, and like we were just asking like how here, if somebody is on your property legally, you can shoot them, like you can. You know, whatever to keep your property.
Certain states and they have certain laws
Yeah.
that they call like
Yeah,
stand your
yeah,
ground
in certain
laws
states.
and yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not even like breaking into your house. I'm saying if they're on your property. So they could just
Yeah.
be in your yard. If you don't want them there, you could just
Well,
shoot them.
within reason, and so it's not
Within
like
reason.
it's not like someone
Yeah.
puts like a foot on your property and you blow their head off, and all of a sudden you're not going to jail because you absolutely fucking are.
It's
but
such like a culture
yeah.
thing as well, because like it's super I know I've had this conversation before of like if you go for like a walk in the UK and like the countryside especially, you're walking through farmers fields, like, and that's the
Yeah.
route. You're expected to do that, and the farmers
Yeah.
have to let you do that. So it's so crazy to
Yeah.
me that it's just like you could just be shot for doing that in the US.
Well, it's
Yeah,
because
if
there's
they
so
don't
much
want
there's so
you.
much land here that people just spread
Yeah.
out so far. Like especially in the
Yeah.
Midwest, there is fuck all in the Midwest. So people just
There's
own
nothing there.
massive properties all the time.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I was
Well,
talking to
I'd say,
Redacted's mom, and she was telling me how in Canada you can only fight back within reason, which makes sense.
Yeah, that's the same law we have.
Yeah, and it's also something like you have to get hurt first before you can do anything. Which is weird. I always found that weird because like it was the same thing in school for me. Like my friend always said, like if you ever get in a fight, take a punch first and then you can throw punches. And I was just like, I'm never going to be in a fight.
I don't know
Two,
specific on the Canadian law, but at least in the UK, reasonable force is like dictated based on threat.
yeah, it might
Like
be that too.
if
I'm
it's
not
clear
sure.
that you're being like,
Yeah.
you might lose your life and you're gonna fight and end up accidentally more accidentally end up killing someone, you'd probably be let off here. But
Yeah.
those are very rare cases though.
That does happen
But,
in the US too.
It is, yeah, it does. But
have a
so
story
she was
about
telling
that,
me about
actually.
these break-ins, and she was saying like, yeah, this one guy broke into this other guy's house, and then the other guy ended up shooting the robber with his own crossbow. And I was like, in my head, I was like, whoa, a crossbow. And I like mentioned it a little bit. I was like, wow, that's like a crossbow. It's kind of crazy. And she was like, well, yeah, we don't just have access to guns. Like you can only have a hunting rifle. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot Canada. They're actually good about that. Anyways.
Well, what's interesting? You reminded me of I feel like if Lucy mentioned before, my dad was a firefighter for about 20 somewhere between 20 and 30 years, right?
Yeah.
In a little town called Irvington, New Jersey. And everyone in the firehouse, back at the time where he was a fireman, there was a lot more, like you get away with a lot more. And I say get away with, I mean more like shit dickery, like pranks, like good-natured pranks and stuff of that nature. Like guys would do stuff all the time that people would get fired for doing nowadays, right? Like the classic example I go to was at one point when my dad was captain there, 3 of the guys who were under him or that he had worked with for years, they went to the roof of their firehouse with a 3-man slingshot and a bunch of water balloons and were launching water balloons 2 blocks over and hitting people standing in line at the Dairy Queen waiting to get ice cream, which is absolutely fucking hilarious, right? But I feel like if you did that nowadays, there would be cameras, people would be fired for it,
you
right?
get fired.
Yeah. So, but in line with that, guys always had nicknames, and one of the guys that my dad worked with, his nickname was Killer. And I'm like, why was his nickname Killer? And my dad goes, oh yeah, because he killed a guy once. And we're like, huh? And he goes, well, yeah, what had happened was he came home from the guy, by the way, I'm not gonna say his real name, but Killer was 6'4", like
Jesus.
about 280 pounds. Big dude. Big beefy dude. You did not want to mess with him, right?
I gotta translate this for Abbie. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I forgot. I feel like 6'4" is pretty understandable height, though, right? Like you, that's
I can kind of do heights,
Is
but everything
6
past
feet
that, I'm just like, huh?
6 feet is 182 centimeters. Is that what you guys do?
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm not normal as far as British standards go in a lot of regards. But I mean, you've seen the videos I sent you, Dolphin, on this.
Yeah,
we're anything if but consistent with our measurements.
Yeah.
But my thing is,
Just
I
tall.
never understood imperial measurements, and only once I
Fair.
decided just to stick to metric did things start to make sense to me. So, in spite of what my country does, I use metric for everything. So,
fair.
Oh, okay.
it just makes
For
more
weight,
sense
the guy
to
was
me.
about 130 kg for you.
Okay. Jesus, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, right. And so he came home from a shift at the firehouse because they would work like, my dad explained it, they would work like 32 on, like, and then like a certain number of hours off. So they would like stay at the firehouse for multiple days, whatever. But he came home and his wife's ex-husband had broken into their house with the intention of hurting his current wife. So in seeing this and seeing the threat, he just like attacked the guy, and he didn't mean to, but he accidentally killed the guy and then like defending his home and defending his wife, right? So because that was the nature of it, and because the guy like broke in with the intent to like hurt him and his family, like he wasn't like, there were no charges levied against him, you know?
Yeah.
So that's one of those cases where it's, and like just thinking about like all like the stand your ground laws and stuff like that remind me. And apparently he was like a nice guy. He was one of those guys where he would say like 6 words a day, and that was a lot for him, you know.
Very reserved.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My dad tells a story about one time at a bar. He just like sat down next to my dad at the bar, and he just goes, "I like you," and that was the only thing he said. That was it.
Thank God.
I think I can vibe with this guy, honestly.
Yeah.
No, he was a chill dude. I didn't realize it, but I met him once when I was like a younger kid. I was maybe like 4 or 5 at the time, but
Yeah.
he's he seemed like a gentle giant kind of guy. Mm-hmm. But he was like one of those guys where like he knew his strength, you know? So he knew how to like, for lack of a better term, like put a muzzle on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I mean, I imagine it's probably very helpful
people.
to be that strong in firefighting, right?
Oh my God, yeah. It's I've only gotten a thin amount of stories from my dad because my dad was very big at like keeping the horror stories at work. He never wanted to bring those home to me or my dad or my mom or my brother. But I've overheard him, like he won't tell them directly to me, but if I'm in the room or if I'm like within earshot and someone else asks him, he will tell stories, but he'll never directly tell them to me, which I guess is his way of like protecting us from all the stuff that he's seen. But he's told the stories about like he once had like a roof collapse in on him and one of the like support beams fell down like onto his head and it like smashed his helmet and like literally like melted part of his helmet, like the helmet that he was wearing. He still has the helmet, by the way. It's somewhere in New Jersey, and I actually kind of want it at some point. I would love to have that helmet at some point in my life. I hope my dad doesn't get rid of it.
My thing is like I'm so into like I would like if your dad was my dad, I would beg him to tell me stories because I'm so into that kind of stuff. Like I don't get affected by much. Like I think there was one time that I actually got really affected by like I watched a person die. And that's because I was like, I don't know, there's some kind of weird, I'm sure it's like some kind of weird psychological thing between seeing someone, like you're right there seeing someone die and like seeing it through like a video.
Right. There's a level of disconnection when you're not actually there.
Like, and I joked around that I was like, oh, we're not going to talk about this. But for example, like Charlie Kirk, his whole thing is there's a whole video of him getting shot.
It's out there.
And I saw it.
It's been taken down now, but it was out there pretty widespread, and it was not pretty.
It was out there for like a fairly long amount of time.
It's really not. It's not pretty.
Yeah, and like my 13-year-old brother like was the one who came into my room and he was like, "Look, here's the video," and I was like, "Oh
Jesus!"
Hey. And he was like, "Yeah, they don't know if he's still alive or not." I'm like, "No, like I saw the way that his head fell over. I'm like, that is a dead body. That is."
Yeah, it's not good.
Like he, for a little bit of context, I'm sure a lot of people already know this, but he was in some kind of rally in Utah.
He was doing a big like rally speech to the College of Utah, and then was shot in the jugular. Very,
very ironically, actually, right before he was shot, the question that was asked was like, "Do you know how many mass shooters there's been this year in the United States?"
Yeah.
Which I find that so crazy ironic that that right before he like got shot and died.
Because he had a whole thing about saying that gun violence was necessary to protect the Second Amendment and like going on like school campuses and saying that. It's think what you will about the guy, like political views and whatnot. I don't think anyone wanted to see a guy get shot and killed.
No, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, no.
Like I don't care who it is.
Like we're saying,
I don't want to see that.
Disagree and challenge people's beliefs, but there's lines to it.
Yeah, of course. Like that's why I always say like, and a lot of my friends actually disagree with me. I'm like, I would never wish death upon anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I would wish, years and years and
choke
years
on
and
rice,
years
slip in the shower,
in prison,
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I hope both sides of their pillow are warm.
Whoa.
But like I would never
Dolphin,
wish death
calm down, Jesus.
upon anybody. I know, right?
Yeah.
I will say the only thing I am glad about is that at least, like I said, I would never wish death upon anyone. I would never wish suffering upon anyone. Mm-hmm. I am glad that his death was quick because that was
it wasn't
quick.
like a prolonged.
That was instant.
He didn't suffer.
Like, I watched the video a total of 4 times. The first time was just like, my brother came in and showed it to me. The last 3 times I was like, okay, like that is not,
It's not.
there's no one in there anymore.
No,
Like,
it's not good.
Yeah.
No, it's that's not a kind of thing where people are like, "Hey guys, I think he'll be fine." No,
No.
it was real bad. It was real bad.
And my brother, like, as he was walking out of my room, he was like, "Yeah, they don't know if he's still alive." I'm like, "Yeah, no, he's not alive." Like
not
that,
at all.
he is very much
The second, because
passed away.
The video that I saw was very like a far away perspective of someone like on a hill or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. He reacted like he got hit pretty bad. And then I saw the news article or not news article, but a friend saw the news article and texted that he got hit in the jugular. And I'm like, oh no, he's dead. Like that's just there's
well,
no.
I saw a video.
It's bad. It's
was
very bad.
Not like super close, but not super far either.
Oh,
It was like pretty medium distance. And the second he got shot, you just see like, and again, if you don't like blood and all that stuff, skip ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
That amount of blood should not come out of a human's body.
Period.
That has any kind of a chance of survival.
Yeah.
Like that is not.
It's not good. It's not good at all.
Yeah, that's dead person now. So, but like everybody that I like, all my friends are like, oh, thank God he's dead and all that. But I'm like, I would much rather like he get like arrested for something and like end up in prison for the rest of his life.
Right.
Like dying is like kind of the easy way out. Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's
like
also
I have the same opinion with like Jeffrey Epstein. Everybody's like, oh my God, I'm so happy he died. I'm like, but like he could have suffered in prison.
Well, it's because also the thing of like, specifically with this guy, where he was like a very big political figure, I guess. I'll be so honest, I don't keep up with politics. So when I first heard the news, my first reaction was who, because I genuinely didn't know his name.
I did know his name because I've seen a few of his debates just because they come up on my TikTok.
Oh, fair enough. But the thing
I
about
was
this,
never like followed him in what he was doing.
Yeah. Well, the thing about this that really sucks is that like his like wife and kids are just kind of like now suffering on the back end of it, and they didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. Which is the shitty part.
Weirdly enough, you can kind of, I mean, maybe you can't, but you can oddly enough compare it to what we were talking about with like game developers. It's like they didn't have anything to do with his opinions,
That is
like,
a pretty crazy pull.
It's a crazy pull. Oh yeah, it's crazy loop back. But
I was gonna loop it back out to my dad. There's certain stories that my dad would never tell us because he never wanted to bring that side home to us.
Yeah, but it's also like I don't know, but I don't know if they were. I have no idea if his family was there, and if they were, I'm so sorry. That's an unfortunate thing to see.
It's not good.
Like
I don't think anyone would say this is really like a good thing overall. Like,
I didn't like the guy. I didn't like the guy at all. Like his opinions were opinions were opinions.
Yeah.
But I would never wish anyone to have to see, their husband or father, go through that.
Yeah, no, that's the worst thing about it, I think.
But like I said, I will say I'm glad that it was quick. Like I'm glad he didn't suffer, know? And not in the sense of like, I liked the guy. It's just, that's a painful experience,
No, not fun.
So it's like, I'm kind of mixed opinions on all that. And and I'm sure I've said things in the past like 10 minutes that people are going to be like, why would you say this? That was so stupid. But like, this podcast is a conversation. You can call me stupid. Go ahead. Have fun. Have at it. You wouldn't be the first and you won't be the last.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, no.
Man.
Anyways,
the
Abbie's,
range of
having
topics
another
that
blinking in British moment.
I am a little bit, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like I obviously know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard about it, but I don't have a fucking clue who the guy was. I agree with Dolphin that like I never wish death on anyone. Like, ever. Like it's just I don't know.
I think
it just feels
a mercy for criminals.
It's a bit of that, and also I don't know. It feels a bit kind of redundant to just be like, let's solve violence with violence sometimes. And I get that. Yeah. I get that that's kind of an idealistic way of thinking, but I don't know. It's just a loop, right? It just always happens.
It's also
I don't really know much about the guy. I've seen some quotes by the guy, following this, and like he doesn't seem like a particularly nice person.
No, he was
I'm not happy that he's died. Obviously,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
there's a
don't really
difference
want to add.
between there's a difference between disagreeing with someone and like hating someone to that level. Like you can disagree with someone and like them. I don't think I hate anyone
to that level.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's I don't know. And that sort of like ties into the whole like internet thing. Kind of like I mentioned at the top of this, where some people get so like tribalistic and stuck in their ways. Like everything that I like has to be this specific way, or else fuck you, you're wrong, I hate you. And it's like, why can't there be middle ground? Why can't there be what I said before about like people having passion in studios? And Abbie, you were like, well, I disagree with that, and here's why. And then I'm like, on the back end, I'm like, oh, I learned something, and I can actually like remember that and like, you know, take that going forward with things. Like why can't there be more of that? You know, why can't there be more of that?
Although everywhere? I will say in the matters of political stuff, that is easier said than done in a lot of times.
Oh my god.
I mean,
that's why I hate politics.
The old like XKCD comic of like the orphan crushing machine. I don't know if you've both seen it. Of like
I do, yes.
The idea of like
I haven't.
This fictional political side is like, we must keep the orphan crushing machine off, and then the other side is like, but why are we crushing orphans? Let's turn it off. And the middle ground centrist point is like, maybe we just crush a couple orphans. And it's like,
yes,
that's not good. And that, as an extreme an example as it is, it does apply to a lot of real life political issues, as much as I hate to call a lot of them political issues, because they shouldn't be, but
that's why I hate, like, I really do genuinely like hate politics and how like so many things become so political, because so many things just feel like, why are we bitching in circles about this? Why can't we do like actual work that serves the public, like roads or like lowering gas prices, or like making things more affordable?
God, or gas prices.
Like why are the things that we need to focus on the little bullshit that does not affect oh god. And this is like, I feel like this will be really helpful for you guys, or not helpful, but you guys would be able to help provide more insight on this. But I don't fucking understand why so many people in so many political places get so hung up about like gay marriage and things of that nature. It's like, why do you care who's married who or who's fucking who? Yeah. How does that hurt your gas prices?
I think
how the fuck does Susie and Linda wanting to bone do anything to the price of your eggs? Like, why is that what we're focusing on and spending all these like voter hours and dollars debating over? Like, why is that what we're doing?
It is just like, I don't get it. I don't get why people are so against it. But although in saying that, I do understand why people are against it, because people kind of flock together into groups unintentionally. So that's just what people do, birds of a feather flock together, or whatever the saying is. And then the issue is that a lot of people be like, kind of turn groups into the boogeyman. They're like, oh, these people are horrible, they do this, that, and no one. And then these people are so scared that they won't even consider or listen to the group that these claims are being made about. And that goes for like tons of different like issues with I don't know, with gay people, people of color, or trans people, like anything, like all of it is the similar thing of like, people are scared and they're not willing to talk to one another. On both sides, that's also true. And I get it, kind of, to the point where like people are kind of scared to talk to each other, so they just end up yelling at each other, and it kind of doesn't go anywhere, and it just fucking sucks.
I was gonna say,
like, it just politics
sucks. If politics was more like productive
chill?
And like not like chill, like why do we have to get so angry?
Adult. The word is adult. I feel like because it feels
all
so
adults.
childish.
Can we just like
can
we just like all like have a chill debate?
Country.
Oh god, the American elections have been so bad and childish for the past few years, and I hate it so much.
And British politics is kind of more adult, but it's still childish at the under the surface. I think, was it Iceland or something like that? I remember seeing some political stuff from them a few years back, and I was like, wow, this is really, or maybe it was the Netherlands. I can't remember, but like it was really, it was exactly that. It was like it was very mature and very. Very rational. Like, they were talking about things as adults, and they were disagreeing as adults. And I'm like, okay, that feels a bit better than somebody just being like, basically, tugging the other person's pigtails in the playground or whatever.
No, literally. Yeah, that's literally what it is.
It like if you go back like a few years, like look at presidential debates from like a bunch of like a few years ago, you'll see candidates on opposite sides of like Democrat and Republican, like sometimes agreeing with each other, are paying a compliment to the person they're running against. you would not get that in any of the most recent elections that happened. Everything is so
I think
like
Obama.
this person
was it
name
Obama, Mitt
calling.
Romney. I think that's where it stopped. Because I remember that
yeah.
debate was like actually somewhat intelligent, and then the second a certain someone came in to run for president, it got real stupid real quick.
It's
Yeah,
crazy
certain things
how
get real
when
chippy
you
real fast.
when you start
Yeah.
turning it into basically a celebrity game versus instead of
Popularity
a politician
contests,
game,
yeah.
it goes a bit
Yeah.
it goes a bit doolally.
Yeah, I hate politics, and I hate how people get so like so aggressive about it. It's like, why does
They
this
just
matter?
get angry.
Contest that it can be difficult to detach from politics when you're in certain groups. Like,
In
I don't
certain
like
settings,
politics.
yes.
I don't want to be a part of politics, but I'm forced to be a part of politics just
Yeah,
down to being gay and
unfortunately.
whatnot, you know? Like, it's...
Yeah.
But the fact that that's even a political
You
thing
can't
is so
escape
stupid
it.
to me. Like, why?
No,
why-
I agree. I
Imagine
agree.
why
It
is it
should
Gay is a
be.
political thing.
Why?
It shouldn't be, but
Right.
it's like I can't detach from politics if
Yeah.
like my day-to-day life can potentially be changed by it,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
No, that which is fair. Like when it's affecting how you guys like live your daily
And that's
life,
why people
then you
do
have to
get
be
a
involved.
very, or at least on like I guess the left in quotation marks. A lot of people on that side of things tend to get very heated because people's lives are being affected for the worse, you know, with a lot of
Yeah.
these
Yes.
a lot of these changes, right? Because like you say,
It's
it's
like
not
it's-
people debating like, oh, how should we spend taxes, or you know, which companies
Yeah.
should we provide with not dividends, you know, funding or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's all this other social stuff that just gets in the way, I guess.
It's things that don't matter when you zoom the picture out.
Yeah.
Like it's
At
things
least like
that,
for me, it's like being gay and a woman is already kind of there. Like I have to keep up with a lot of stuff. But also the fact that I'm Hispanic, I don't look Hispanic. I'm pale as hell, as all hell. But like, admittedly, the second the wrong person sees my last name, it's all out the door.
Right.
Like gone. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, you're bad. I'm gonna call ICE. It's like, no, don't do that. I'm an American citizen. Please stop
Right.
it. Stop being stupid. But it's like that's not just like, you know. Like, I hate the idea that just because I don't leave the house and I have a horrible vitamin D deficiency and I'm pale as hell, that is one of the only reasons I'm not getting hate crimed, because I don't look Hispanic,
crazy.
you know? Or, like, I have, like, my hair is longer. Like, yeah, I have an undercut, but it's mostly, honestly, the undercut, as much as I love it, it is mostly because my hair is so thick that it gets stupidly hot. So, so, like, if I put my hair up, yes, I look, quote unquote, look gay. But, like, if I keep my hair down, I don't look gay. So, like, that's also, like, another thing that's like, okay, well, you know, I'm not going to get hate crimed because I don't look gay.
Right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, I wish I could have my hair short. And one of the main reasons I don't is because it ages me down a lot and it gives me baby face.
I get that. That's me with the beard.
But yeah, it's like, yeah. But I wanted to tell a funny story. I know we're just talking about politics
Tonal
and like
shift.
kind of getting mad about it.
No,
Like,
listen.
I wanted to tell a funny story.
I just to tie a bow on this whole thing is
Yeah.
the overall of it is somewhere along the line people are no longer okay with disagreeing with each other, and I don't get it. And this is coming from
Yeah,
someone
I
like
don't get it
I've been
either.
like pointed at and called like, oh, you're the privileged guy. I'm like, oh, you're the straight white man. You've never had a worry in your life. And it's like, well, yeah, I haven't had to deal with a lot of the same issues that a lot of people I know have had, but I have my own
Yeah.
issues and whatnot. I'm not blind or deaf or immune to these things. But people point
Yeah.
at me and go, oh, you're a straight white guy. You don't know what these people deal with. You don't know what the fuck we're talking about. It's like, well, no, I do, but you just saw me and assumed it didn't want to
Assumed.
engage in the
Yeah.
conversation. So I guess
Yeah.
thanks for making me the villain because I don't
In an
like
effort to
fucking
not be
dudes.
prejudiced, you've been prejudiced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my,
exactly.
yeah, exactly. Which that's another whole thing that I could talk about for hours.
I just
because
wish-
I've stabbed some people. It's like at what point is it
As a
hypocritical?
society, we valued empathy more. That would be
Yeah.
nice. I
I
think a lot
agree.
of these
This is
issues
very
would kind of
true.
be solved if generally people, like on the
Oh, yeah.
whole, held more empathy for one another.
Like
Yeah.
I know people who I was gonna say who are like myself. I know guys who are just like straight white dudes who grew up like Midwest, who grew up in the South, who are like, yeah, I came from these environments where people didn't get it, and I was not raised in a way where I understand it. But if you sit down and talk to me and explain it to me, and you're willing to have a conversation with me, I will respect you and I will hear you out.
Yeah.
And we might not land at the same point. I still might not understand, or I might not agree on everything, but I'm going to sit here and talk to you and listen and hear everything out with you. Like, I want to understand. And that's not me saying that this is the perspective of my friend who said this to me. He's like, he just wants to like sit down and have a conversation and understand how people got there. Mm-hmm. But people,
in my opinion,
people won't be willing to have that conversation.
To be willing to have that conversation. Yeah.
But people will see that and go like, oh, but you don't agree with me, you don't understand, therefore you're bad, you're the problem, you're wrong, you're what's. So it's like, well, no, hold on. He's just saying he doesn't understand it, and even if he doesn't like fully understand or agree, he's not stopping you from doing anything. Like, he's like, yeah, go do what you want. I don't care. You know?
Well, I was going to play devil's advocate, but you kind of like solved it there, I guess. I was going to say that sometimes in these conversations, it can start with good intentions, where it can be like, I just want somebody to talk to me and explain how it works so I can kind of understand it. And then at the end of the conversation, I'm like, well, I still don't really get it. And it can kind of come across, like, particularly when you're talking about stuff to do with like gay rights or anything like that, it can come across very personal when this person suddenly, like, you've tried to like kind of put your heart out on a plate and explain like your lived experience, and the person's just like, yeah, no, what, and it can come across as like, okay, so like, do you just not want me to be allowed to be gay? Like,
yeah, no. It's from what I've seen, at least I'm not naming who this person is, and the person listening, I don't know, but they'll definitely know who it is.
And again, this is devil's advocate. I'm not saying that this person is like that, by the way.
No, absolutely. But that's something I understand both perspectives. Was my point of this is I feel like, as someone who, like, I'm friends with a lot of LGBT people and other people of color and people who are immigrant parents, and my sister-in-law is. I watched her become a citizen, like, as I was growing up. Like, I remember the day she like passed her citizenship test. You know, so I've seen a lot of sides, and I've seen like there's problems on both sides of the equation. Sometimes is what I found. You know, where it's like 100%. why can't you approach this person who's like, I may not agree and I may not understand, but I want to hear you out and I want to see why you think this. And I'm not going to stop you or tell you you're wrong, you know? But it's like, for whatever reason, on the other side of the case, they've been met with, well, but you don't agree or you don't understand, so therefore you're the problem. And it gets treated very like, he gets treated very hostilely for it. And it's like, well, that doesn't seem fair, because he's coming from a place where it's like, well, let's talk about this. And it gets treated like, fuck you. It's like, well, how do we get here? You know?
Well, that's why I hate a lot of the, the sentence I was about to say, I need to rephrase that. That's why I don't like
everyone. That's why I want everyone to
No, I was going to say, that's why I hate a lot of the LGBT community. No,
wow.
No, that is
Dolphin
why
coming out as a bigot after all this time.
Oh, God, no.
That's going to be the bottom of the description. Is Dolphin's a bigot?
Being LGBT
No,
stood for bigot all around.
I am not that. No. No, but I hate like people who, and it happens a lot in LGBT community. Somebody will ask me a question or like I'll ask somebody a question and they immediately take offense to it. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just asking a genuine question. That's why I love Abbie so much. I ask her a question, she just answers it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, no,
I answer pretty much anything you ask me.
Same.
Yeah.
No, it's very refreshing.
And also, to be fair, if you do answer something that's a little bit like personal,
oh, I've for sure said offensive things.
I usually say like, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
I have 100%.
But you might want to be a bit careful saying this to somebody else.
Yeah, I've said offensive things to people, but like, and again, mostly it's Abbie catching it, but she'll like message me and she'll be like, hey.
Hey, bestie.
So you know. And I'm like, oh my, and the second she tells me, hey, this is offensive to this, group or community or whatever, the second she says that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I think making your intent clear ahead of asking the question is generally like the best approach. Because if you just outright ask the question, even if you mean well, it doesn't mean that the other person's going to take it well. So if you make sure to kind of soften the blow, and make sure to give them an out to be like always, if you're asking a question that you think might be controversial, just be like, and if you don't want to answer it, like, just tell me no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, give them an out that doesn't make them feel like a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for
absolutely.
sure I have some boomer ass opinions, but I don't talk about them because then it gets people angry and my friends
Yeah.
yell at me and then I get sad.
Like
Well,
I
'cause,
said,
like,
bigot.
I've talked to a lot of people who are like, I hate men.
What did you say?
Okay.
Like I said, bigot.
No, a bigot
catch that, I'm so
would
sorry.
voice those opinions. I don't. I specifically don't to avoid any kind of confrontation or disagreements with my friends.
Oh god.
But yeah.
No, it's like, because it's like, you all gotta like dance around, because there are people who are bad faith actors, right? And people who are gonna be assholes about stuff, but you can't assume that everyone is a bad faith actor, because then you're no better than them, in my opinion. You know, if you're just treating everyone with hostility and just like a shitty attitude, then you're no better than the person being a dickhead to you, in my opinion. You know?
Hey, Bot, can we name the title of this podcast "Boners to Bigots"?
Is that like a musical?
Yeah. Is it a charity like Cars for Kids?
Boners to Bigots.
You know what? We will do that. That'll be one of the titles.
I don't know if YouTube will let you.
Oh shit, you're right.
Surely.
Censor it.
Yeah, right.
Boners to baguettes.
I was
Close
gonna say
enough.
we have we're at about an hour 30. So do we wanna?
We can.
Because
Do we
I was
want
gonna
to say
I feel like
all
we'll-
of the slurs and all of the censored words?
Oh my god!
Yeah, what's your
All right,
favorite?
I'll start.
Abby,
what's
you
your
go
favorite
first. What's your
slur?
favorite?
My favorite slur. Oh my.
I guess for me, like if we're being genuine, for me it depends.
I'm starting now.
Are these slurs that people call me?
No, I'm not serious.
Yeah,
I was kidding.
These just slurs that you use.
Oh. I didn't use any slurs.
Like
Wait a minute.
Does clank
Well,
count
okay.
as a slur?
Yeah. There you go. That is
There you
the.
go.
Hey, I take offense to that. As bot.
it
You can't go around saying
depends
that.
on who you
Shoot, dang
ask.
it.
You
Because
can't say clanker with the hard R. Okay, you got to be chill.
it depends because I love the C word. Americans don't say it though.
That's not a
Yeah,
slur.
Americans hate
It's not a slur though.
Americans treat it
yeah,
like
it's
it
just
is.
considered. Yeah, Americans
YouTube
treat
treats
it like it is.
Actually.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No.
And then but this was back in high school. Me and my friend used to call each other a word that is very offensive to lesbians.
Oh,
Did you
okay,
also
yeah.
hear the train come to the stop there at the
We'll
station?
go with that.
the word
They're saying that
that
station.
I was trying to
Netherlands
figure
is
out
very
what
well
to.
known for building a lot of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would literally just in the middle of school, like there was one point where like I would be underneath this little walkway and she would be above it, and she would literally just yell at me, "What's up?" Word. and I would just yell back at her. And I'd be like, "Sup?" Word.
I used to have a friend at school,
and then,
but
like-
with the C word.
Yeah.
C word,
And then like
affectionately.
I have another C word affectionately. And then there's another friend that I have that I would use with them. I'd use the F slur, but not super often, but often enough that it's like I should probably stop.
Right.
I also do call my mom's car the F slur car. Because she put like all these sparkles and rainbows on it.
Is it offensive if I ask? Is it a Subaru?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a little Ford Bronco.
Okay.
Ford Bronco. Meep,
Yeah, she put like sparkles all over the inside of it. I'll see if I'll take some pictures. On the steering wheel, the little horse poops glitter.
Oh.
Pooping
For
glitter.
it.
Yeah, so it's her little F slur car.
So like, if the airbags ever go off, is she just getting like a face full of like
Glitter bombs.
Just getting antique with glitter. Yeah. It's like pocket
Dude, that
sand.
would be
Well,
awesome.
it'd be quite bad, right?
Pocket
Because
sand.
I remember there was a thing like that where like a girl bedazzled her steering
Oh,
wheel
yeah,
or
that's
something, right? And then
true.
crashed and then
Well,
had
there's not
really
that much
bad
of it.
face injuries because
Yeah,
unsurprisingly
there's
it's
not that much of it.
basically a shrapnel grenade at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I never thought of that. I'll let her know. I'll make sure she knows she has a shrapnel
Glitter's
grenade
probably
where
fine,
the horse is pooping.
but yeah, generally I wouldn't put anything on top of the airbag. I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah. No. I agree.
Yeah, I've never thought.
I
of that.
agree.
I should. I'm gonna go talk to my mom real
People
quick.
get black eyes from just the
I
airbags
know.
themselves. So like, if you're
Yeah.
putting something on
You
top
get
of that
knocked
that
out
can
from
pierce.
airbags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look up the Kentucky ballistics 50 caliber experiment, and you'll
I'm
understand
gonna
all
put
you need
nails
to know
on
about
my
physics.
airbag.
Yeah,
I
you know,
heard after
you'll die
Kentucky
quicker that
was
way.
fried chicken, I'll be honest.
no Kentucky. The Kentucky Ballistics is a
Not
YouTuber.
gonna lie, me too.
Do you guys not know about Kentucky Ballistics?
No, I don't look up guns, Bond.
Okay, he's a funny guy. He's super chill, like
Yeah.
super funny. He's a I don't know if he was former military or former like corrections or I don't know what it is, but some kind of formal.
That's ominous.
Well, corrections is like
Like a corrections officer.
yeah, like my
doesn't-
cousin.
That doesn't help me.
It's a prison guard, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Like a cop who works guard at a prison is a corrections
Okay.
officer, or like anyone who works at a prison would be a corrections officer, because they're
I
technically
just like the fact that I'm like, what's corrections? And you're like, correction officer. And I'm like,
Yeah. Okay, so I have a cousin who is in
Links
the
in
army.
British.
thank you.
Yeah. Let me correct you on this, actually. I have a cousin who was in the army who then, when he got back, he became a corrections officer because that was just the work he could find. But I digress. But so Kentucky Ballistics is a YouTuber who he basically gets like ridiculous guns and will just show them off. Like massive like bullets the size of like Red Bull cans, like stuff like
Is this
that.
like
Right?
modern
It's very
day
tongue-in-cheek.
FPS Russia?
No, it's like it's if FPS Russia was a kids TV show.
What?
yeah, he's very tongue-in-cheek and very silly. Like, remember that clip I showed you where the guy has a rope attached to him and a T-Rex drops an anchor in a bucket and he's like, I don't know if you understand how this works. And then the rope just goes away and he's like, how deep is that bucket? And then he gets dragged on the ground. That's Kentucky Ballistics.
I see. Okay.
But he had a 50 cal that he was shooting for a video, and he got ammo from a new vendor or something. I forget the specifics of it. He has a whole video talking about it, which go check it out. It's an amazing video. He talks about it in depth. It's crazy to see his recovery. But the gun basically blew up in his face, and pieces of the metal from the gun like went into him, like in his neck, like in his head, like it knocked out. Like he was blind in one of his eyes for a while. He almost died actually from the whole thing.
I'm surprised.
It's a crazy story.
Quite big, right? So.
Oh, it's a crazy story. I'll actually send both of you the video to it because his video explaining it all is like it's fascinating and it's a really informative video. Mm-hmm. But so that video and other things like it taught me a lot about how shrapnel can be a really big problem. Mm-hmm. Like little things in front of something that can disperse them very quickly will very easily beat skin because skin is not very slash proof is what I've noticed. You know?
And getting shrapnel
Yeah,
embedded
no,
is real bad as well. It's real hard to get out.
It can get real bad.
Real quick, I know this has nothing to do with anything we're talking about, but I just want to say, our dear friend Connor is currently streaming Pokemon Run and Bun.
Oh boy.
I joined when I was making my food, so it was probably around like 12:45. Mm-hmm. It is currently 2:49, and he is in the exact same position that he was when I was making my food. So,
oh boy.
Do with that information what you will.
Run and Bun do be a little bit of a spreadsheet simulator most of the time.
It really is. Anyways, I think this is a good place to end it off.
You know, yeah. This has been a wide range of
really
conversations.
Honestly. Yeah.
Abbie, what was your experience
the title
like?
And description for this one.
From boners to
thanks
video
for...
games to ballistics.
Yeah.
From boners to ballistics.
You know, that might be the title.
If you can manage to get boner into the English title.
I don't think boner will be a problem. I'll be so honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, Abbie, what'd you think? Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'd say it's probably like a chode
Not the
out
boners,
of 50
your
cal.
experience in a chode out of 50 cal. Wow, that's a good rating. Anyways, if you're listening on YouTube, we have a Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, we have a YouTube. We also have a Discord. I don't want to talk about the TikTok.
Where's the TikTok, Dolphin?
Yeah. Anyway, so we also have a Twitter. I'm still working on that being more active. I don't know how to make that more active. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope you guys enjoyed. Everybody say thank you, Abbie, for joining.
Thank you, Abbie, for joining.
Yeah, thank you, Abbie, for joining. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Abbie, is there anything else you would like to add?
I don't think about the Roman Empire ever.
Damn.
Slander.
I also have something like that to add. You lost the game.
Fuck!
Anyways, yeah,
Oh
you
my
guys have a great
God.
rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Woo!